I cannot wait to tell you about my road trip to a liquor store. And I'm not talking a Bevmo or a Total Wine. This was a liquor store, and you will not believe what happened, and I can't wait to go back.
Okay. So excited about our major announcement today, Maria.
Major announcement, major announcement, major announcement.
Save your jingle skills for, we have a phone number, and you can make a song about it. We have a phone number that's going to be active 24/7. You can call us and leave messages, and then we can go through the messages on future podcasts. But this is the number. You need to write it down. If you're watching on YouTube, you might see the number pop up on your TV or your phone or whatever you're watching on right now. But this is the number, 424-235-3657. I know it's not very easy to remember, so I'm going to do it again. 424-235-3657. Okay?
That's exciting.
Is there an easy way to remember that? Should I do 424-235-3657? Is that better?
I sure.
Save it in your phone. Call us. Anything that's on your mind, questions, comments about the podcast, just a random thought that pops into your mind. We will play those on future podcasts. So
radio job offers.
Radio job offers, if you've got those. If you need somebody to come over and put your Christmas lights up, we're not the people. Definitely. Have you done that yet? Have you got your Christmas lights up yet?
It's on my to-do list for Sunday because I have Sunday off from work. So Sunday is my day to put lights up.
And your house has been chaotic because we actually had to push back the recording of this podcast because you were living in 1985. You did not have internet for how long?
We did not have internet for 5 days.
How are you still alive?
Hashtag white people problems. I mean, I get it. But listen to this. You forget how connected your internet is to everything you do.
Yeah.
So we don't have cable TV. We have internet TV. So that meant no TV for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
That meant no football, no golf, nothing.
So are you going to have like a no internet baby 9 months from now?
We did not do that.
No? I thought that would be the first thing that would come to mind. We don't have TV, so we might as well.
I was working a lot, so thank God I was like working a lot at Costco, but my poor husband was home. And I'm like, what did you do? And he sat in the hot tub, played music, just went for walks.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yep, gotcha.
But even like I do a radio show, I record a radio show in Saginaw, Michigan, and I needed to print my information, my music.
Right.
Well, my printer is Wi-Fi connected to my computer.
Oh, crap.
So I couldn't do that either. And so I had to like actually find the wires for the computer and the printer to connect and reload. I mean, it was like a big pain in the ass. But I was thinking, what would have happened during this pandemic in 1985? Because now everybody can work from home because of the internet. What if you didn't have that and we had the pandemic?
I don't know. I mean, we're all throwing our hands up in the air with internet. I can't imagine what life would have been like. I mean, we probably would have, what did we have in 85? A phone book. We would read that. And we would call the operator when we were bored just to have conversation with people, I don't know.
Oh, and like speaking of reading too, my Kindle, I finished my book, don't have Wi-Fi. I couldn't download another book.
Oh my gosh. Did you have to go
it was crazy.
Did you pick up one of those, what do they call them? Paper books? Did you find one of those old school remedial books and get into that?
I was reading magazines actually.
Yeah. Were they ones from the dentist office from 1985? Were they like actual new ones? Do you get magazines still?
We do. We get random magazines. This is so weird. And we don't pay for any of them, which is even more bizarre. We get Bon Appetit, that was what I was reading because I like looking at the recipes. We get this giant interview magazine. I get People Espanol. That one I bring to work and give it to the girls at work who speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just random stuff we get in the mail.
I think that these magazine companies, we get a few too. I haven't lived in Detroit in years and I still get this Our Detroit magazine. I think that they keep your address around. They're not worried about the subscription cost as much as saying they reach all these people. So even if you're not paying for the magazine, they're still sending it to Maria and Eric, and they say, hey, we can sell ads and blah, blah, blah. I think that's kind of the reason you're still getting those. But yeah, I think my wife still gets like some kind of a cooking one, like, I don't even know. What's Marie Claire? Is that still a magazine?
That's still a magazine. But if she wants cooking ones, I can share my Bon Appetit magazines with her.
I will.
There's some good recipes in there.
I will tell her. Actually, my daughter might enjoy that because over the weekend, this past weekend, we were invited to, and it's almost 2 weeks in advance, to what was called a social distancing Friendsgiving, which I've already had all the Thanksgiving food this year. So, when Thanksgiving rolls around, we're taping on a Thursday. In a week, it's Thanksgiving. I'll do it again. But I didn't get into the pie, which is one of my highlights of Thanksgiving. So I haven't done that yet. But my daughter, I got to brag on her for a minute. She has really taken to the idea of the charcuterie board. I think I'm saying that right. Which I looked up. It's a French word, and it's used to describe any of a variety of cold cooked or cured meats. And they're served on a board for when you're entertaining. It's often served alongside cheese, crackers, and or bread, with meat as the hero of the charcuterie platter. It's the perfect starting point for creating a dinner-worthy board, says this definition of charcuterie. But our daughter had nuts on there, apples, dark chocolate. You can see it. Actually, there's a picture right now on YouTube if you look for Doing Life with Maria and Chad. There's a photo of that I took of her work, which it really is. I mean, when we were growing up, we were talking about before internet, 1985, whatever year it was. But before all that, and it was called a cheese and meat plate. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know the word. Did you know charcuterie when you were a kid? No, and I can't even spell it today, but no. And we didn't make it. We didn't have anything to bring to somebody's house, so we stopped at the grocery store and bought a cheese plate, a cheese tray. You bring the cheese tray. But yeah, now it's called charcuterie. So if you're lost in this world, please know that you can do that if you're trying to think of what to bring to somebody's Thanksgiving. Are you doing like a group thing this year? I know everybody's weird about COVID.
My niece, who moved here from California, this is her first Thanksgiving here. She is actually going to host.
Okay.
So it's just family. We're going to go over there. I'm a little nervous, actually. She's got a couple little kids. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
I don't want to get anybody sick, but as of right now, I'm going there, and I'm in charge of making the deviled eggs.
Oh, well, you throw some meat with that, and you can call it charcuterie if you'd like. Now,
if I put it on a wood plate, right?
What's the deal with Lucy? Because I know she's supposed to wrap up college soon. Are you guys doing a big graduation party, or is COVID killing that too?
I think COVID's killing that. I would love to have a big graduation party for her. I mean, you know me, I love to have a good party.
Yeah.
She graduates like in a couple weeks. I think December 4th.
Okay.
Is her last day. If not before then, like she'll be done with finals, she'll be graduating. I will say a little shout out to my Lulabelle. This semester, she has a 4.0.
Holy cow.
I'm very proud of her.
Can you even communicate with her anymore? She seems like she'd be on another level.
Yeah. Just by text.
Yeah.
That way I can like dumb it down. She can dumb it down for me.
Yeah.
She does. I didn't tell you this. She has an interview with General Dynamics.
Nice.
It's just a part-time job, but she's getting her foot in the door, hopefully. And we wanted to get her something nice she's graduating from college.
Right.
We wanted to get her something nice. And she knows that, I'm not making the money I used to, but she also has been talking about wanting an Apple Watch.
Okay.
And I told my husband just yesterday, I texted him and I said, you know what? Costco has Apple Watches. I think we're going to splurge. We're going to get Lucy a nice Apple Watch for graduation. And he goes, okay. So I texted her because there's various Apple Watches. I don't know which one to get her.
I think they're on the number 3 now, right? Is that where it's at?
There's like a 6 or something.
Geez.
I don't know. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So I texted her. I'm like, hey, and I was trying to get away from the graduation gift. I said, hey, if Santa were to bring you an Apple Watch, which Apple Watch should Santa bring you? And she responds tell Santa I don't need an Apple Watch right now. And I was like, well, what would Santa maybe get you? And she's like, money. I'm like, I'm not going to give her money for graduation. I mean, I know that's what she wants, but I wanted to get her something nice.
What would she do with the money?
I think she wants a new phone.
Okay.
And, this has been kind of the thorn in our side because the last phone we got her, which we still owe $600 on, was stolen within a month of her having it.
Mm-hmm. Out of her pocket, right?
Out of her pocket.
Yeah.
So I talked to my husband again last night, and I said, what if we have Lucy pay off the $600 that she still owes on the first phone, and then as a graduation gift, we get her new phone, and we just pay cash for it. Done. And he's not on board with that quite yet.
Uh-huh. That's tough. You think of it as like, okay, it's not really that personal or thought of, but that phone will be with her every second of her day. She'll get so much use out of it.
Unless she gets it stolen.
Well, yeah, hopefully not this time. But man, I do have an opportunity for you to save some money here, Maria. And,
I'm all in.
and the reason I know this is through personal experience. I don't know if I told you, this was about a year and a half, 2 years ago. My wife and we met with like a financial advisor guy, and we were going over, 401ks and investments and blah, blah, blah. But thankfully, that conversation kind of took a tailspin into, he was asking like, how much do you pay for your cell phone? How much do you pay for your blah, 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 which was good questions because that's where your money's going, right?
Right.
So he confessed to us, and I've been telling as many people as I could tell since I learned this information, and you and everybody else from the podcast will benefit from this too. He puts it on his calendar to call every bill that he gets and ask for the best rate every year. He sets a day aside. He takes a day off of work. He'll call his cell phone company. He'll call his power company. He'll call his whatever. I mean, we have so many subscriptions these days. I don't know. Probably Netflix is probably not going to give you a better deal. But the reason I bring that up is this is pretty crazy. They find the audio. This guy actually decided to write a song because I know for me, my internet provider will, after a year, I have like a promotional rate. Right. So after a year, they'll raise the rate. And if you don't call them, you're going to be paying more for the exact same thing you're already getting. So listen to this song he wrote to call customer service.
Looks like my bill went up, and I'm interested in getting my bill returned to its normal price.
It's going to go up to 80.
Okay, well, I actually wrote a quick song about it, and I'd like to share that with you. This morning I woke up to an email from AT&T that was bothering me. This happens every 12 months without fail. So I called up customer loyalty. Please return me to my normal monthly rate right now. Or else I might have to take my businesses over to... I'm really serious about this. I'm going to switch over to WoW if I don't get my service switched.
Okay, so Jake, great news. I was able to go ahead and do the rate you're at now.
Thank you so much.
So you got a better deal, but I wanted to play that as basically a reminder. Put it in your calendar, whether it's in December, January, February, whenever your rates are going to be going up on whatever services you have. Call them and say, hey, I'm going somewhere else if you don't give me at least the same rate, because they'll just keep jacking it up. I saw that with our cable company. We used to have internet, cable, home security, and all that, and every year incrementally it'll go up. And if you just keep paying it, that's what it is.
Yeah, I just that's my husband's department. I'll let him know.
Well, it actually will save you quite a bit of money. I've started doing it, and it's pain. You literally have to go through, okay, can I talk to your manager? How about can I talk to your manager? Can I talk to the guy above you or the women above you? Yeah, like it's a pain. It takes a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's your lesson of the day.
So I have a question for you because I did something yesterday. I can't even tell you the last time that I've done it. Not including a Bevmo or a Total Wine. When was the last time you were actually in a liquor store?
It was almost 2 months ago. You remember when we did the road trip to visit our family in early October?
Oh, yeah.
We drove through Colorado, and we knew of, my wife discovered a beer in July when we were there that she really liked called Epic Day IPA. And it's not available for sale, as far as we know, in Arizona. So when we were about ready to leave the state of Colorado, I just looked on my phone for a liquor store, and I found this one like in a strip mall. It was total small, probably family-owned liquor store. And we went in there, and she bought 2 6-packs of this beer because she could only get it in Colorado.
Right.
Fine. So we have my daughter and the dog in the truck, and we get in line, and their computer systems are down. And so we had to wait because we didn't have cash. We only had a credit card. And we had to wait until they get their I ended up leaving. My wife stayed in line. We probably waited over a half an hour just to check out. But we had already made such an effort to go, all right, we're going to find the place. They had it. We're in line. So she got it. And now she's rationing. She had one actually at the Friendsgiving on Saturday. So she has one here and there so she can save it.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I'm really into these sour beers now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And there's IPA and pale ale, whatever, but this is a Gose or Gose, Gose is like the kind I like.
All right.
And I usually get it at one of the breweries, Oso or State 48 Brewery, and I buy a growler. Well, that's really expensive. So last night after work, I was like, thinking I needed a 6-pack of sour beer. So I looked up on my phone the nearest liquor store. And I find this place, and it's about 2 or 3 miles away, but I'm like, hey, it's worth it. I go in and I walk. It's a drive-through too, by the way.
Okay.
It's a drive-through. And I walk in and there's, bongs and stuff in there, like all this like random drug paraphernalia. And they have a ton of liquor and beer, but the place is really small. And I walk in and it's a drive-through, and the guy at the drive-through is just swearing, F this and don't effing come back here. And,
wow.
And I'm like, oh, wow, this place is very welcoming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
And there's a guy who's kind of kicking around a case of beer with his feet. And I said, excuse me, sir, do you work here? And again, they're not wearing masks either. Nobody's wearing a mask.
Of course, yeah.
And he goes, I don't know, sometimes I work here. I'm like, oh, God, where the hell am I? You know? So I ask him about this. He goes, yeah, it's right here. So anyway, I find my beer, and I go to check out, and the guy behind the counter has just these rotten teeth. And I kind of kept staring at his teeth.
Yeah.
And he goes, is there anything else for you? And I'm like, no, this is it. And I go, just don't swear at me like you did the other person.
Wow.
He goes, no, you seem kind of cool. I'm like, I am kind of cool. Don't hurt me, okay? How much do I owe you?
Yeah, there's some characters. I mean, thankfully they exist because you're able to buy what you wanted. But wow, that sounds like a place.
It was an experience. It was actually kind of, I felt dangerous.
Will you go?
Will you
go back?
I would, just because it was so wacky.
Yeah.
Like, I would go back. It was just wacky and kind of dangerous and kind of gave me a little adrenaline rush. And I got my beer.
I know we've talked about this on other podcasts, but you also work at Costco in addition to our podcast and your radio show in Michigan. But I know that things are getting kind of crazy with the COVID cases on the rise. How has the toilet paper rush and people rushing to Costco to get all of their things that they're going to need if we have to get locked down again?
Okay, so this is weird because it's the holiday. So that means people are in Costco in droves, buying their turkeys and getting ready for Thanksgiving. They're getting jumpstart on Christmas shopping, so a lot of toys, that kind of stuff. But obviously, the big ticket item right now, or the big hot item, is toilet paper and paper towels. This is round 2.
Yeah.
The other day, I think it was Monday, came into work and they're like, oh, it's a shit show today. And I'm like, what is going on? And there were over 500 people lined up around the building before we opened.
Oh, jeez.
To get their toilet paper and their paper towels.
Yeah. And was there any to be had? Was it in there?
Yeah, it was there in the morning, but I mean, not enough for everybody.
Yeah.
And we limit it to 1, and then people are all pissed off. Well, I want to buy another one for my mom. Well, no, you can buy 1, and I mean, it is so bizarre, and people are so angry that they can't get their toilet paper. And I'm thinking, with all the toilet paper you bought a little while ago, how much do you need? How much do you actually wipe your butt? I mean, come on.
It's one of those things. Like when we look back at this, when it's hopefully all over soon, we'll go, okay, why do we need so much? But I think people are like, okay, I'm going to use it eventually, and I might not be able to buy it for a while, so let's just stock up. But then they get crazy, and then there's none left. I know for us, we have probably, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 rolls left right now, and I don't know that I'll be able to buy any anywhere. Now, since you work there, do you get like the inside track, like, hey, I'm going to put some toilet paper aside for Maria's butt?
If I get there and I can grab like a package of toilet paper, whatever, I can buy it and then just put it in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's not like I can take it, put it in the back and hold it till later. Like I'm a member as well. So, if it's there, I can buy it. If it's not, I don't. I did hear we might have an employee shopping day, which means we'll shop before the store opens and I can get stuff.
I have a prediction to make. I think we are going to get messages on our new phone number asking us to help them get toilet paper. Should I give out the phone number right now?
Yeah, give out the phone number.
424-235-3657. Anything that's on your mind, any comments you have about anything we talk about or anything that we haven't talked about, leave us messages at 424-235-3657. I have an update for you on an ongoing storyline we've been talking about on the podcast. I got another postcard.
You got another one?
Well, I got it. I think I haven't been checking my mail as often as I should. It was postmarked on November 9th, but I think it might have been here when we did our last podcast, but I hadn't seen it yet. So
wait, hold on. So this one was actually postmarked.
Yeah, it was postmarked. I'm holding it up to the camera here. November 9th in Phoenix. Oh, it's got a special Charlie Brown Christmas stamp on it, forever stamp. It's to my home address. If you haven't followed this really weird mystery, I don't know who's sending these to me. Every time I get one, it says XO, 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 so hug and kisses, and then it's got kind of glittery lips. I'm gonna hold it up so you can kind of see. Somebody's lips are on there, and then it's always the same company that makes the cards. This one reads, "Sorry, I didn't change the toilet paper roll."
Speaking of which.
Exactly. I know I used the last piece of paper and there was another roll right there, but it was easier not to bother. So, yeah.
So this is what you've been trying to figure out who's been sending these postcards. Mm-hmm. I'm beginning to feel like I'm being played. Like, you know who it is, and you're just playing me.
I swear on a Bible, whatever you want me to put my hand on, I swear I do not know who these are from. I still believe it's somebody in my family. I truly believe that it's either my wife or my daughter. But neither of them, they've done the same thing. They said it's not me.
Now, you said there was a Snoopy stamp.
Yep.
Where does your wife keep the stamps? Maybe you should look to see if you have Snoopy stamps.
Like you're thinking. I don't know. I think they're in her office. I'll have to go searching to see if she has, because they are the forever style and it's Snoopy looking in the mailbox. So hold that up to the camera so you can see the stamp. It's kind of fitting.
You go check her desk.
I guess I'm Charlie Brown, not Snoopy sitting in it. It's Charlie Brown looking at it.
Oh, okay.
So there's your update. I don't know if it's you. Call the number. Let us know it's you. 424-235-3657. Leave a voicemail. My daughter just peeked in. You want to come over and join the podcast for a second? She won't. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to hear. Here, put this in your ear.
It's not me. I guarantee you, it's not me.
Georgia, it's you.
No, it's not. It's not, and it's not my mom either.
So I should say
He's
that
sending them to himself.
That's not true. I should say that my daughter is on the podcast today because she's supposed to be at school. This is what virtual learning in 2020 looks like. She's listening to our podcast in the other room.
Exactly.
All right, go back to school.
Okay, bye.
Bye. It's funny because she goes to a school that they have to wear this pin to her school. It's like required part of the dress code. Mm-hmm. And I told her she should wear that stupid thing while she's on Zoom, while she's doing the virtual classes. And she thought I was stupid because that's what, 14-year-old girls think of their dad.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
A couple of things before we get to the final question today. I want to update our final question from the last podcast, which was, What's the most useless thing you've ever bought? And it was for you, Maria, it was the ghost thing, right?
Yeah, I spent money on this Ghost Express where the company was going to send you a ghost, and I don't know. I didn't see the ghost.
So my answer to the most useless thing I've ever bought was a 2020 planner, because who could plan nobody knows what tomorrow brings, let alone this entire year. But the reason I bring that up, I saw this lady, her name is Robin Shaw, and her video has been viewed more than 3 million times on TikTok. And she talks about her list of goals for 2020.
Okay. So I'm just, in the middle of hitting rock bottom. I found my goal list that I made in December for my goals for 2020. Tell me if this is not hilarious. All right. Goal 1, make more money. I've been unemployed since March. Travel more. Lose weight. Be more social. I wrote cry less. I've cried every single day of this whole pandemic. Spend more time. Funny. But I wrote spend more time with my grandma and she died.
She sums it up. That's how we all feel, don't you think? What did you want to do in 2020, Maria?
Oh my God, that was so funny.
That's pretty good stuff.
The final question.
All right, this is the question for this week. What was your nickname growing up? Maria, what was your nickname growing up?
Okay, so my maiden name is Ignat, and there is another Maria in the family. So growing up, I was always Iggy, because that was a play on my maiden name, because there was already another, I was the first Maria, but I was Iggy, and then she was Maria.
And didn't you also have a name that was about your height?
Yes. I was going to say 2, but you always get mad at me when you say I have 2 nicknames.
Well, what was it, since I'm asking?
When I was in high school, since I was super duper tall, they called me Tree.
Okay. Yeah, I was reminded of my nickname. By the way, I want to say hi to Chris, who is a new podcast listener. Chris is a guy that I grew up with that recently discovered our podcast on YouTube, and he's been catching up on all the podcasts. And he texted me, and we talked the other day, and I said, if you tell 10 people about our podcast, I'll say hi to you on our next podcast. So hello to Chris. He's got 10 new listeners. He's a guy that we were talking about. I used to play football with him and his friend and our friends. And I have a scar on my hip from diving to get a football and landing on gravel. To this day, I still have that scar. So,
jeez,
I should name it Chris the Scar. So the nickname growing up for me, I inherited from my high school basketball coach. I was a freshman, and he was the varsity coach, but he was watching to see, talent that was coming up and whatever. And I was definitely not the talent. I was on the team, but I was not the team. But anyway, he called me Three Wood, and Three Wood is a name that he came up with because if you could imagine, I had a flat top, and he was sitting up in the bleachers in the gym watching us practice, and he said to the guy sitting next to him that my head looked like a good place to tee off with a 3-wood with my flat top. So that's where the nickname was born, 3-wood. You can call me that if you'd like. What was your nickname? Call us, 424-235-3657. Have we come up with a song yet for our new phone number?
I'll work on it for the next one.
All right. Any time of day or night, 424-235-3657. We're on Instagram, @Maria and Chad, on Facebook, Doing Life with Maria and Chad, and tons of podcast apps. Do you want to run down some of those?
We are on Spotify. We are on Google Podcast. We're on Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher.
TuneIn,
iHeart.
Pandora.
Pandora.
I think that's everything. Pretty much everywhere. We're still fighting with Apple. They won't let us in their club for some reason.
They don't like us.
But everywhere else you can listen to us, and of course on YouTube you can see the pictures and different things that we talked about, and look at the postcard if it's you sending postcards. Please reveal yourself before the end of 2020. Thanks again for listening, and don't miss our next episode.
Mwah.
Thanks again for listening to Doing Life with Maria and Chad. Follow us on Instagram at Maria and Chad and Facebook. You can now listen for free in all these places. The radio.com app, on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, the Amazon Music app, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pandora, Podbean, and of course, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode.